Am I streaming again? I think I'm streaming again. Pedro, Messina. Will I regret not taking Joe Torre here? Maybe. But I need pitchers. Scooble. Babe. I have one catcher left and I need a catcher. But I need these pitchers more, I think. Now, what I have to do is make sure I don't... Okay, it's Mauer. Wood, Freed. Can I take the Mookie? Do I have an... Let's see. I got Diego already, so that's a 9th pitcher. I can 10th here. Yeah, definitely take Mookie. I can take Mookie here. Wait, let me make sure. I have 9 pitchers if I count Diego. And I have 2 rounds left. Yes, take Mookie. That means I can't pass up on any more pitchers. Yeah, these are not fun pitchers. Okay. I think I blew it. Alright, who's the best available here? It's not going to be Hilton Smith. I think it's Brandon Webb and Edwin Jackson. Yeah. That's a bummer. I thought I had one more starting pitcher coming. Oh, it's Howie Pollitt. Oops. Okay, I think we have 10 pitchers now, right? I have to take... Yeah, I have to... No, wait. I have 11 if I count Diego. Am I streaming again or not? I can't tell. Yeah, okay, I am streaming again. I don't know what caused that disconnection. Sorry about that. Alright, so we've got one more... Oh, that's good. That means all those other terrible drafts I did, I'll just delete. Because that'll be a separate... that'll be on a separate stream. I guess this is Isringhausen over Pollitt, right? Yeah. Okay, this pitching staff is pretty rough. We're really leaning into Diego being on this rotation. Why is Brandon Webb starting over Babe Adams? I have no idea. That's pretty funny. It started Brandon Webb over Babe Adams. Actually, I think we're going to start Randy Johnson over Diego. Or maybe over Babe Adams because it's modern era. Let's do it over Babe Adams. Okay, so we'll go Pedro, Seaver, Scooble, Johnson, Diego. Oh, McVay is our 14th pitcher. Nice, I forgot about him. Actually, do I start Messina over Diego? I think I might. Okay, that'll make Diego... We'll make him a closer, because he might not be available as much, because he'll be batting a lot. Spire, Eckersley, stoppers. No. Oh, Babe Adams stopper. Oh, that's crazy. That's nice. That means Eckersley can close. Diego can move to setup. With... Wait. Babe Adams was supposed to be my stopper. What happened there? Webb. Get out of there, Webb. With K-Rod. Oh, that's a nice setup combo there. I like that. Middle relief. Webb and McVay will be long relief. Okay, that works. Man, I did a reboot and everything, and my OBS still crashed before. Like, what was that? Less than 20 minutes in. Why do I feel like I don't have enough players? I have 12 position players? That's weird. It looks like I messed this one up too. Ricky, Digo, Walker, Hannes, Chipper. It's probably close to right. I think the AI is not off here. Let's see. Utley versus Zobrist. Yeah, Zobrist is better. SmileyFaceJane, if you're in the chat, I did request in the beta Discord that they give us a one-click make all these if starter tired. Someone else had actually requested it, so I just piled on and said, "Hey, I would like this," and I know SmileyFaceJane has mentioned it also, so I put a +1 on there on that request. So hopefully they'll give us that. It seems like, I don't know the coding behind it, but it seems like a relatively benign request. I don't know how I ended up with only 12 batters though. That's wild. I completely miss. Oh, how do I only have 24 players? I had time left. Unless I ran out of time because I got disconnected. Did I lose a round because I got disconnected? That would suck. I think I did lose a round because I got disconnected. Alright, let's see what happens if I exit this and come back in. Do I get 26 players back? Yeah, no, I'm still missing 2 players. That's weird. Huh. Oh, check reserves? That's a good idea. Nope, they're not there either. I think I had time left. I think the round I hit submit maybe when my system crashed. Did I lose those players? Well, that's a bummer. I've never seen that before. I'm pretty sure I had time left. Wow. Alright, well, congratulations, whoever plays me in round 1. I have one more of this, but maybe we'll draft that one between while we're waiting for people to fill out the pack giveaway form. All right, so SmileyFaceJane is going to be taking over the team in 1972. So let's go ahead and set that up. We don't have, I don't think we have a 1972 run environment set up yet, but let me double check. (1977, 1967), not 1972. So that's no problem. We're just going to set one up now. So 1972 is going to be during the baseball boom era. We don't need the complete history to keep the file size small. We don't need real minor leagues because we're going to set it up so that no one gets injured or suspended. So therefore, there's no need for a reserve or minor leagues, right? Because you don't need to call anyone up if your players aren't getting injured or anything. Okay, for now, I'm going to leave this as me. Why is this American? This is to be Japanese. And then we'll change it over to SmileyFaceJane when we set up her game. But we'll name it for her game for now. This will be Peak Performances, an OOTP26, SmileyFaceJane, 1972, San Francisco Giants. Now we're not going to select a team because this is the run environment quick start. So we'll leave this unselected. And we'll set up the mailbox to be from the entire world, but we're going to unselect some things here. And then for the manager options, we're going to minimize the disruptions. Okay, and then game settings. Global settings, we leave coach scouting off, which means scouting will be 100% accurate. We're going to turn coaching off, and we're going to turn storylines off. Players and team, we're going to disable injuries, disable suspensions, disable player development lab, player development focus, and potential to influence results. You have to be careful. Some of these you check to enable, some you check to disable. It can be very confusing, so I just recommend you just read carefully. I still do every time, just to make sure I'm not, interpreting something backwards. Under league settings, we'll open up a whole new set of submenus here. League and teams, we leave the same rules. We don't want expansion. Again, we want everything to stay the same. Roster expansion, I should say. So they're going to expand from 25 teams to 25 teams. No trading. And we leave disable automatic creation of free agents. Financials stay the same. Options, I don't let pitchers win the MVP because they have the Cy Young Award. I don't want to have to do Hall of Fame voting. I don't want to have to do All-Star voting. But I do want to take out popularity as an influence on All-Star vote. And All-Star Game roster, I want this to be pretty big. I think 32 is a good one here. Because I want plenty of opportunity for the really successful players that season to get selected. And also, it's one of the questions in the pack giveaway form. And in 2024, I think it's 32 or 35, so I want to keep it pretty high. Now, the rosters are smaller, so I don't mind scaling it back to 32. Not the rosters. The rosters are small, and there's also fewer teams. So I don't mind taking this down to 32. What is it in 24? I want to say it's 34. So maybe we can take this down to 30 in 1972. There's a lot fewer teams. I think that's good. 30 is good. I don't want it to be 25. 25 is way too restrictive. Historical. I don't want players retiring or missing seasons according to history. I don't want historical rookies being imported. And then for AI, these are the modifiers. This is how the AI makes it feel like 1972. I want to lock this in, right? We do want it to stay feeling like 1972. What I don't want it to do is further nerf things if SmileyFaceJane brings in like a bunch of power pitchers or a bunch of home run hitters, right? So we don't want it to recalc. We're going to leave it as is, feeling like 1972, but the players who come in, we're going to let them do their thing once they come in. And so that will save that. And then this will be our quick start. So this will be create a roster run environment. That's what we call this setup because we use it for create a roster. 1972 run environment. Create a roster setup for 1972 MLB run environment. Okay, so this is now available anytime you want to do a sim like this in 1972. Or if on a whim we just want to play create a roster in 1972, we can always do that too. There's also, where is it? There's a fun thing that is new. Where the play it uses the historical modifiers on the created players in the player creation engine. Oh yeah, automatically import historical player creation modifiers. If you click this, right, when the players are created, it'll adjust their created players to match the era better, which I think is fun. So to undo this, we just take this back to 1. We're not going to be creating players anyway, but I don't want to leave anything different if we can avoid it. Okay, so now we'll set this up for SmileyFaceJane. SmileyFaceJane. American. Female. Everything else is the same. And we're going to go ahead and give her the Giants job. All right, so yeah, so when you're in commission mode, you don't have to apply for a job. You just take the job. Oh, Dr. Dynastic, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. I was watching the game, extra inning thriller, Barstow Buzz, the Grand Slam. That's my team, my players on the Barstow Buzz. But then I started streaming, so I actually don't know how the game ended. The fact that you're here already, I assume means it was ended in the 10th inning. But I was I saw the Grand Slam. The Buzz won. Awesome. That's my team. Ended in 10. That's great. I saw the Grand Slam and I thought, okay, I have a little more time, so I did a few other things getting ready. We scored 2 in the top of the 10th. Okay, awesome. Yeah, the Grand Slam was awesome. Yeah, Red Rock League, super fun. World Series time, or I guess not World Series, whatever the Red Rock League Championship is called, is this week. It's been a lot of fun to watch. This must have been Game 3, is that right? Red Rock League Finals, that's what it's called. Yeah, the Red Rock League Finals. 3-0 series lead for the Barstow Buzz. Let's go. I'm sure there are a lot of drops collectors that are disappointed that it might end in 4 games because Dr. Dynastic has had special drops for these the games. So if you didn't know, now you know. For each of these streams, and I believe it continues for Game 4 and onward, each day Dr. Dynastic is streaming a Red Rock League's final game. There's special drops for those streams. So you can get your affiliate drops, you can get your official drops, and you can get your Dr. Dynastic drops. So if you are chasing drops, make sure you do that. And even if you're not, watch the Red Rock League Finals. It's a lot of fun. So here's what we have going on today, for those of you who just rated in. SmileyFaceJane is playing one of her community games. This is a channel part redemption, and it's called Peak Performances. She can pick any Major League team in history, and she's gone with the 1972 Giants. And she can take 5 players on that team and replace them with peak versions of themselves, and she decides what seasons are peak versions. So it's a lot of fun if one of your favorite teams has like a lot of washed up veterans or future superstars, or ideally a combination of both. And we we go forward and back in time to collect those best versions and bring them to the team you've chosen. So there is a pack giveaway. Now that I know what team it is, we can finish this out. It is 7 packs for first place, 3 packs for second place, guessing how this team does. All right, so SmileyFaceJane. Will be taking over The 1972 San Francisco Giants. And all these games got a lot more fun once OOTP Developments gave us the single season import. And I'll explain what that means when we when it's time to import her players. All right, the 1972 San Francisco Giants, they went 74-88. Fourth in the fourth of sixth, in the NL West. They were 28 games in fourth place. They were 28 games behind the Cincinnati Reds. Can you imagine being in fourth place and you're already 28 games behind? Wow. And there were no wild cards back then. So if you didn't win your division, you didn't go to the postseason. The Reds would go on to beat the Phillies 3-0 in the NLCS and the Yankees 4-0 in the World Series. So they swept the postseason. All right, but 74-88 is our starting point. When you do your guesses, keep that in mind. This is a sub 500, not a terrible record, but 28 games behind the first place team. We'll be in the 1972 season, 1972 run environment, all the modifiers that kind of come with that. We do have auto recalc of the modifiers after the players are imported off. So it'll stay the current modifiers no matter who SmileyFaceJane imports in. And then, yeah, so there's a bunch of questions. There are an upfront section, and a bunch of questions in the beginning that are survivor style. If you get each question right, you advance to the next question until we get to this question about how many games will this team win? How many regular season games? That's the final question in the survivor style section. We only award first place up to there. Then everyone gets to come back in to compete for second place packs. So if you miss out on the first place packs, you still get a chance to come back in, and your form will be I guess scored for second place packs. So everyone gets a second chance in this. There are a lot of questions. We have a lot of fun with the tiebreakers, so hopefully you will go ahead and fill one out. I think the effort's worth it. We have a lot of fun with those tiebreakers. It usually does come down to the final questions, too. All right, so let me go ahead and put this link to the forum in the chat. All right, link to forum for tonight's first 10-pack giveaway. I say first because we'll have a second 10-pack giveaway when I stream again at 10 p.m. Pacific time tonight. Whenever Ezra Denny is done streaming is when we'll start. Or actually, sometimes I'll start after his 7th inning stretch, just to kind of get stuff like putting the forum together out of the way before we get a raid in from Ezra. All right, so there it is. It's pinned to the chat. Good luck, everybody. You can wait to fill it out until after you see the changes SmileyFaceJane makes, or you can fill it out and take off. You do not have to be present to win. So if you have to leave, go ahead and submit a form. Give yourself a chance to win some packs. All right, so this is ready. Now, SmileyFaceJane, do you want to do voice chat tonight, or do you want to just do regular chat to set this up? It is completely up to you. And then for those of you who aren't already, regular chat for tonight. Okay, let's give a shout out to SmileyFaceJane. Especially if you are new to Perfect Team. SmileyFaceJane, one of the best Perfect Team players out there. arguably the best. Some of the things she's done in Perfect Team, you could say that makes her the best, and I would not argue at all. In fact, I would support that argument. And she also streams, and so especially if you're new and you want to learn, how do people think through putting a roster together for tournaments, managing their league team, drafting a team. Unlike the disaster drafts I had while we were waiting for the Red Rock League Finals game to end. Watch SmileyFaceJane. She's also very good about explaining her thinking. She's shared her sliders before. She's super kind to the community, and also a fantastic Perfect Team player. So no better way to learn how to play Perfect Team than to watch the best. And yeah, we're psyched to have her as our contestant tonight. All right, SmileyFaceJane. So here's what we have to work with. This is the 1972 Giants roster. Now, in the base game, the rosters you have are the start of season rosters. So if there are trades during the season, they will probably not be reflected in the base game roster. They are not the postseason rosters. They are not the end of season rosters. So for better or for worse, they are the beginning of season rosters. So that's something kind of important to keep in mind. So I have a pitching splits view, and for batters, I've created a view based on what SmileyFaceJane has asked for in the past. So this is a customized SmileyFaceJane view. So let's see who we've got in the pitching staff. The starting rotation. Now, if you'll notice, it's 1972, so the bullpen only goes 4 deep. They do have a 5-man rotation. They have a 4-man bullpen. Now, when you play the base game in a regular season save, 2.5 stars is average, right? When you're used to playing Perfect Team and you're stacking your team with the best cards possible, average is definitely bad, right? Like your team, ideally you're putting a team together that's way above average, so average is bad. But in a regular Major League season save, average players are kind of the bulk of your team. The problem here is there's no one above average, and there are 2 players here below average. But in general, this is like a serviceable Major League save rotation in the base game. Serviceable, but not great. But I'm already starting to see why SmileyFaceJane might have taken this team, because there are some great names on here. Just looking at the pitching staff already, right? You've got a 34-year-old Marichal. We know he's had better seasons, right? And then these other players, you probably know some of them. If you don't know them from baseball, you know them from Perfect Team. And then if we look at the lineup, again, you do have some 4-star players here. You still a 4-star Willie Mays here. How old is he this season? He's a 40-year-old Willie Mays, still 4 stars. Goes to show how good he was as a player. Right, you've got a 34-year-old Willie McCovey, who's a 3-star. There's definitely some interesting players here who have some peak seasons worth considering. And then SmileyFaceJane, this is an innovation she started, which is also looking at the reserve and potentially bringing in a future or past version of a reserve player. So there might be someone in here that she's going to look at too. Like there's a 21-year-old Gary Matthews in here, which is interesting. So yeah, SmileyFaceJane, not only awesome Perfect Team player, has a history of just picking really fun teams for peak performances that have like these players you wouldn't expect to use as a base for bringing a peak season. Speckle, thank you, Speckle, redeeming channel point scritches for my dog Crouton, who is over here next to me. You know what? We figured out last night. Scritches have been delivered, Speckle. We figured out last night that Crouton knows what's going on. As soon as I started streaming, he plopped down right next to me, like loudly, and then immediately I think it was Nerd of Anarchy, redeemed a scritch for Crouton. And then he walks away. And then I have a 15-minute cooldown. I think it's 15-minute cooldown of the scritches. He starts wandering back over, shakes his collar, and then bam, the cooldown's over and someone else has redeemed scritches. I think he knows how to tell time, at least in relation to like when his next scritches are coming. But I caught him by surprise today because this is not the usual streaming time. I usually stream at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's clever, but sometimes kind of dumb. But you know, who amongst us is not clever and sometimes kind of dumb? Those of you who were here early, you saw how dumb I was in my perfect drafts today. They did not go well. Okay. So SmileyFaceJane, do you want to get us started with the first player we're going to look at for peak performances tonight? Willie Mays, of course, makes total sense. Still 4 stars at 40 years old, but we know he's got much better to offer. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in editor and I'm going to grab his player ID. We're going to need this to import his peak season. And I'll show you how we're going to use that in a little bit. Then we're going to go to real life stats. And so we can talk to SmileyFaceJane about which season do you want to take. There's a huge run here of amazing seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1,000 plus OPS seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 10 WAR plus seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 WAR or higher seasons. I mean, it's just an insane career. And so this 72, I always claim him as Mets legend, Willie Mays, because he ended his career with the Mets. But yeah, in this actual season, even though he's 4 stars, his ratings will be that of a player who's going to hit 250, right? Because he split his season between the Mets and the Giants. But still has a pretty healthy 802 OPS. All right, SmileyFaceJane, which season do you want to grab? There's lots of fun choices here. There's the 51 home run season. There's a peak OPS season. There's the peak WAR season. 1954. That is the peak OPS season. Second best WAR season. All right, let's do that. 1954. I believe that's also his first year back from military service, right? He served during the Korean War. Right, that explains the lack of season here in 1953 and the short season in 52. So Ted Williams did this too, but could you imagine going away from military service, coming back, and hitting 345 with a 1078 OPS? Not missing a step. Not missing a step. All right. What a great pick here. Willie Mays. 1952 Willie Mays being brought 20 years into the future to 1972. All right. Well, 18. Oh, sorry, 18 years. 18 years. All right. Are we going pitching or hitting next, SmileyFaceJane? We can go whatever, or you can go back and forth between pitchers and hitters. We can do whatever you feel like doing here. Hitter. Okay, let's go to the lineups. Lots of potential fun choices here. This is, by the way, this is not the Yankees Bernie Williams. This is a different Bernie Williams. Yeah, Willie McCovey. I noticed him earlier. He is 34 years old at this point. Let's go ahead and grab his player ID. And then let's take a look at his seasons. So 1972, 34 years old. He hits 213 with 14 home runs and a 713 OPS. So you can throw a rock and hit a Willie McCovey season that's better than this one. One of the worst in his career. So it'd be. There are a lot to choose from, though. There are a lot of good seasons here. So which one did you go with, SmileyFaceJane? There's 2,000 OPS seasons here in 69 and 70. There's a 44 home run season back in 1963. 66. 295, 36 home runs, 973, 77 OPS. What we don't have is the OPS plus. The OPS plus seems to be broken. It is his second best WAR season as well. So 1966. Okay, and then let me show you what I'm working on here as we go through each player. This is a file I'm going to use. So you can upload any TXT file that has a roster like this in it into the base game. Player ID, comma, the season you want, comma, and then the abbreviation for the destination. We're using SF for San Francisco. Normally I'll make this FTM for Franchise Time Machine because I don't always know what team we're going to take over. But this is a one-off. We're definitely taking over San Francisco, so we're just going to put it in there. Also, this player ID is the player ID that's used by Baseball Reference as well. So that's why a lot of us use Baseball Reference when we're looking up things to make rosters, because the Baseball Reference ID also can just be grabbed and put in here. All right, SmileyFaceJane, that's 2 down. You have 3 more choices. Do you want to go pitcher or batter next? Pitcher. Okay. Some interesting options here as well. Yep, Juan Marichal. He's 34 years old here. He's already been a multiple time All-Star. Let's go ahead and get his player ID. If your last name, if you played on the 72 Giants and your last name starts with an M, you're gonna get replaced. You're gonna get replaced by a peak version of yourself. Mays, McCovey, and Marichal all getting replaced here. All right, let's go to his peak. Let's look for his peak season. Now, look, here's something you're never gonna see again. 300 inning season, 300 inning season, 300 inning season, 295, 299. Juan, what happened in 1969 that you only threw 299 and 2/3 innings? Could you not get that one extra out? Come on, Juan. And then, he has a little down year with 242 and 2/3 in 1970. Comes right back with 279 in 1971. So by 72, though, those innings have taken their toll. He's a 6-16 pitcher. The ERA plus is still 109, so near league average, above league average, or better than league average, I should say. 1965, 22 and 13, got a save in there as well. A crazy 190 ERA plus, a .91 WHIP, 7.3 WAR. So yeah, 1965. Okay, 3 down, 2 to go. Do you want to go pitcher or batter next? By the way, these are all super fun players. I'm really looking forward to seeing all 3 of these so far. Playing together, no less. All right, at pitcher. So we're going to stay in the pitching staff here. I think there are several that make sense here, so I'm looking forward to seeing. Okay, yeah, Sam McDowell. Had a really fun perfect team card early in the cycle in PT25. Let me grab his player ID. Again, if your last name starts with M and you played on the 1972 Giants, SmileyFaceJane is going to replace you. All right. 1972, first season with the Giants, he went 10-8, 94 ERA plus, so slightly worse than league average, but lots of good seasons to choose from here. I mean, of course, the eye opener is the 240 ERA plus, but There's also a 9.1 WAR season with a 200 ERA plus. Let's see which one SmileyFaceJane went with. 1965. Yeah, that's the 200 ERA plus with the peak WAR of 9.1. Highest strikeouts per nine. 10.7 strikeouts per nine in an era where that just did not happen is incredible. So yeah, 200 ERA plus, just a dominant season, just mowing people down. Uh, Looking for another 1965 choice. So Marshall and McDowell both coming from 1965. All right, one more pick, SmileyFaceJane. Are we going pitcher or batter for this one? So far, it's 2 and 2. 2 batters and 2 pitchers. All right, we're going back to the lineups for batter. Unless it's from the reserve. SmileyFaceJane very canny about using the reserve as well for these games. Frankly, introduced the use of it. I had never thought of doing that. And SmileyFaceJane was like, yeah, of course, there's good players here. All right, Jimmy Ray Hart. Get an editor. Get the player ID. The first non-M name to be selected. All right, real life stats. 1972, he was 31 years old, relegated to being a reserve. He would have a bit of a comeback in 1973 and play 114 games. But his best season is definitely behind him at this point. There's an M in Jim. That's right. I stand corrected. 1967. Yeah, peak career WAR, 882 OPS, 29 home runs. Let's not sleep on the 77 walks. That's a lot of walks for that era, especially. So 1967. All right, so this is what the file looks like that we're going to be using to bring these players in. Player ID, season, and SF for San Francisco. So I'm going to save this as peak performances in OOTP 26, SmileyFaceJane, 1972 SF. All right. So then we use this file is we go to the manager pull down menu, GM and manager actions, and sign a free agent. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put SmileyFaceJane into commissioner mode. This is a good thing to show anyone who wants to do this. We're looking for the actions pull down menu here, but it's not there because SmileyFaceJane is not in commissioner mode. So once you're in commissioner mode, manager pull down menu, GM and manager actions, sign a free agent. Now you get these pull down menus. Actions, create fictional players is how we play create a roster. And how Dr. Dynastic makes your players in the Red Rock League. That's create fictional players. But tonight we'll be importing historical players from the historical database. Now up here you can enter players one at a time, but here we're going to upload that file we created. SmileyFaceJane, 1972 San Francisco. Real stats. Now this is the thing that I mentioned earlier that OOTP Developments did for us. Until this season, this default was 3 years, and we didn't know it was 3 years. It didn't say it anywhere. But if you brought in, let's say, a 1954 Willie Mays, you're actually getting a 53, 54, 55 Willie Mays blended together. Now, for the stuff we do and the stuff I like to do, I don't want that. If I say I want the 96 Brady Anderson, I just want 1996. So when I found out that it was a 3-year blend, I asked OOTP Developments in the forums, hey, can you give us a 1-year import? And within a month and a half, they had given us a 1-year import. So now you can choose whether you want your import calculations to be based on 1 season, 3 seasons, or 5 seasons. And we are almost always going to go one season here. I like the potential ratings to be based on the peak season of the career. For fielding ratings, we're going to go entire career just to give us maximum flexibility. And then pitcher stamina, though, I want the imported season. And for the reason why, look no further than like Dennis Eckersley or Dave Righetti or John Smoltz. Those are all closers who used to be starters. If I import a starter Eckersley, I don't want the closer stamina, and vice versa. And this, I take this down. This is the level at which players get nerfed for having a small sample size. None of our players tonight are going to run into this, but I always take it down just in case. So we should have 5 players imported, so it looks like I didn't have any typos, which is good. Now we'll go to the roster, and we're going to take all of our imported players and put them onto a short list so we can work on them separately. Now they're easy to find because they're all the highest rated players here because they are their peak versions. So a short list, add to default short list. They're going to become all caps. And then when you go to your manager pull down and you go to player search and short list, they're all together right here. So you don't have to go searching for them if you want to do something with all of them. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the year they're imported from to help distinguish them from other players. So this is a 1965 Marichal. This is a 1965 Sam McDowell. I'm super excited that SmileyFaceJane chose Sam McDowell because I think he's one of those players who's like, he's a modern era pitcher who was pitching in the 1960s, and by that I mean he was like a high stuff. I'd be interested to see if they have records for this. I assume he was also probably a high spin rate pitcher too, but like his stats just point to him having more of a modern makeup, and so I'm always interested to see how players like that do as we move them across eras. Okay, so like that 10.7 strikeouts per nine that you saw back then, that wasn't a thing. Like very few pitchers had a double-digit strikeouts per nine in that era. SmileyFaceJane said McDowell's the main guy who makes it interesting. Otherwise, it's just sending guys who are mostly played for the Giants back in time. Yeah, that's true. Or forward in time, right? They're coming up from the 60s into 72. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how that Sam McDowell does. All right, so let's go back to the roster. We do have to send some players down to make sure we're not over. So the original Mays, the original McCovey, the original Jimmy Ray Hart, the Marichal, and the McDowell are all going to go to the reserve. And we're back to 25 players. Okay. So do you want to do strategy, pitching, or hitting first? All right, pitching first, no problem. Okay, here's what it looks like. Let's see what the AI wants to do. Wow, McDowell ahead of Marichal. Nice. And it's got a stopper and the rest middle relievers in the bullpen. So the main things we're going to want to do is make sure that the rotation is in the order SmileyFaceJane wants, that the bullpen rolls are what she wants, and that the rotation mode is to her liking. So anywhere, okay, McMahon is a stopper. 8th and close game. Secondary middle relief. Okay. So McMahon is up there. Rest of them middle relief. Normal usage, no secondary. Okay. What about the rotation order? Okay, strategy tweaks for Marichal and McDowell. No problem. We'll go in order. So McDowell's first. Okay, rotation order is fine. McDowell SP hook 1 to the right. Okay. Pitch around all the way to the left. And hold runner all the way to the right. Okay. We'll just arrow down to Marshall. And again, this is a 1965 Marshall that we're importing into 1972. Hook 1 to the right. Okay. And I think what SmileyFaceJane is doing, and I do this too with my tournament teams, is because McDowell has low control, you don't want him pitching around anybody because every strike is precious and every ball is a potential problem. So you don't want him pitching around anybody. All right, that's good for pitching. So should we go to batting or strategy? Batting it is. All right. Let's see what the AI wants to do. It's got 3 great batters here. It's going Jimmy Ray Hart second, Mays third, McCovey fourth against righties. And then versus lefties, it's going Mays third, McCovey fourth, and Hart fifth. So basically, it's moving Hart from second to fifth as we go from versus righties to versus lefties. It's 1972, so there's no DH anywhere, so we only have to deal with 2 lineups, which is helpful. And we can go this way too, so we can see the reserves. We'll start with the VR if you want. Okay, VR. Hart leading off. McCovey second. Mays third. Henderson cleanup. Bonds fifth. Spire sixth. Fuentes, then Raider. Okay. And then I know SmileyFaceJane likes these to be if starter tired. Yeah, so what I've asked for is like a button somewhere that says make all these just if starter tired. What's the other thing I asked for? I asked for something else the other day too. Oh, I asked for in the card shop. Can we get a throws lefty righty or bats lefty righty filter in the card shop? Make Healy a defensive sub at catcher. No problem. Okay, and then Goodson defensive sub at first base. I always forget that Dave Kingman could actually field the position. I just think of him as like a big slugging bat, but he's got some good defensive profiles in the base game. All right, that's good for VR. VL. Flash says, I remember that 72 Giants team. My dad was a Giants fan, and the White Sox were pretty good that year. Oh, you know what? I think I was looking at... When I pulled the Giants record, I think I pulled from the wrong season. I think the form is wrong, actually. I need to correct the form. The Giants, when Flash said that, I was like, yeah, I need to look at the standings. They were 69 and 86. Nice win total. While SmileyFaceJane types in her VL lineup, let me correct this. They went 69 and 86. And so they were 5th out of 16s. And they were 26 and a half games back. They were still behind the Reds. The Reds are going to beat the Pirates 3-2. And they would beat the and the Athletics beat the Reds 4-3. So apologies for that incorrect information. I think I was looking at a different season standings, but these are definitely 1972. Okay, VL, Hart to left field, Kingman in at third. Hart to left field, Kingman in at third. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. Kingman in the 6th spot, playing third base. We'll ask for new depth charts. I'm going to assume you want Healy as a defensive sub again, and Goodson at first. Oh, Goodson's already in at first. Okay. And Healy, defensive sub at catcher. Okay, Hart 1. Hart 1. Mays 2. McCovey 3. Bonds 4. Moving up to the cleanup spot versus lefties. Kingman 5. Spire, Fuentes, Raider. Okay. Raider staying in versus lefties mainly because Healy just has a noodle bat. Initially, you went Bonds over Hart, but Hart was a bigger jump in overall and allowed for a very nice Henderson Kingman platoon. Oh, interesting. Yeah. And do you still want the Henderson as a defensive sub here for Hart in left? The AI put that in there. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and save that. And then for strategy, I do have preloaded. We do have the SmileyFaceJane SmileyFaceJane historic sim strategy. We can use this as a starting point if you'd like. SmileyFaceJane has played this enough that we just saved one of her strategies as her default. We'll just run with that. Okay, sounds good. All right, so you've all now seen the team, what it looks like. 3 stud batters batting first, second, and third now versus lefty and righty. And we've got 2 great starting pitchers at the top of the rotation. And where are we relative to the ad break? Oh, perfect timing. So I'm gonna run 3 minutes of ads so I can refill my water and stuff. This is also the 3-minute warning for the pack giveaway form. So when we come back from this ad break, we will go ahead and close the form, take a look at the guesses. We'll also see the AI prediction as well, and then we'll start the sim. All right, good luck, everybody. And SmileyFaceJane, thank you for the channel part redemption and for playing the game. I agree with Flash. These are great changes. I'm very excited for this sim. All right, looks like we're back from the ad break. And yes, Flying W, thank you for the reminder. I owe you a few things. A link to the Creator Roster Dead Ball entry form. I will send you a screenshot of the previous rosters that have been entered. And the slide that has the rules. The rules are pretty simple. I think it's 1910, so you get 3 starting pitchers. And then the bullpen size is up to you. But I will send you all that stuff. If you haven't gotten it by the time I start the 10 p.m. stream, please remind me in the 10 p.m. stream, and I will send it to you. I will pause the 10 p.m. stream to send it to you. And as a programming note, I am going to start a little early tomorrow because I have to get up very early Sunday morning, and Ezra Denny is not streaming. Does not stream. Oh, he will be doing his Straturday stream. Oh yeah. Okay. Finally, let me connect with you in Discord after this stream. I was gonna start really early so that I could be done in plenty of time to get a good night's sleep before driving tomorrow morning. I forgot that Ezra's been doing the Straturday streams. I don't really want to step on those. Partly because I like watching them. One thing I might ask you is if you want to go Friday, Saturday next weekend instead. Because Friday night is currently open, I think. Because then that way you can do... Okay, let's do that then. Because I don't want to step on Ezra's stream because he's always super kind to us. And that way I can be 100% sure I get some rest. Okay, thank you, Flying Dev. That's a huge help. So I'll put it on the calendar right now. In fact, Friday night, Saturday night will be Flying WV. Before I forget. Yeah, Ezra's doing low ball in the afternoon, and Flying WV will do dead ball at night. And then we'll do TBD on Saturday with Flying WV also. Who knows? Flying WV might turn into a dead ball sicko after Friday. So these are all channel point redemptions. You just have to watch the channel, get enough points, and you can redeem them to play one of our community games. The historic games are just for fun. The ones like SmileyFaceJane is playing tonight, peak performances. There's also like Force 4 trades, where you can make your team force any 4 teams in the league to trade you whatever player you want, and you can send them back whatever piece of garbage you want. I have a bunch of games like that you can redeem. But our creator roster games, there are leaderboards for those because they're set up to be competitive. And so Flying WB has played a lot of low ball, which is where you try to build the worst team possible. Has been playing a lot of regular creator roster. In fact, had a really exciting run recently. I thought that team had a real shot. And on Friday is going to take on low ball, and I think that low ball leaderboard is ripe for the taking. It has not been played in a while. I think we've learned a lot about the game engine over the course of the season, and I think there are some good runs to be had in dead ball. I think dead ball is definitely one that's open to be taken over. Kind of 360 at one point. Our low ball. Wait, were you the low ball and the regular leader at one point? Has been taken over by Nerd of Anarchy, who's also in the chat today. Yeah, once upon a time. And I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but Georgizim. DJORDJEZIM. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Alright, let's take a look at this pack giveaway form. Let's see how it's going here. Alright, we have a bunch of entrants here, so I am going to close it unless someone asks me to leave it open because they're submitting at the last minute here. I'm going to set up the spreadsheet view, so you do have a minute here while I set this up. But again, let me know so I don't close you out of it by mistake. I've got to hide a few columns. I've got to resize some things, so you have a little bit of time. And then I have to see how it fits on the screen. Okay, this is good. All right, so I am ready to close the form. Does anyone need a last minute? Oh yeah, for Marty, no problem. We'll leave the form open a little bit. Oh, for Marty is in. I think we're good. Flash says, Willoughby, Stone, and McMahon all pitch for the White Sox at some point. Oh, that's interesting. You know, there's another game you can play, Flash. You take your team, and you can turn any other team in the majors that season into your farm team, and you can promote 6 players from that team onto your team. That's a fun one too, especially if you hate another team. You can hate promote from that team. That's a fun one. I like doing that to the Yankees and the Dodgers. I just take their best players, add them to my team. All right. You want to do Force 4 trades? Yeah, that's a fun one. That was the first one that really got any traction when I started streaming. All right, here we go. Here are the guesses. Now that the form is closed, I can share the guesses. Not all the guesses, but some of the guesses. Oh, I just lost my place. All right, here we go. Here's what the guesses look like tonight. All right, there are 70 of you in the contest tonight. Thank you all for participating. Good luck. No one thinks this will be the worst team in the majors. No one thinks they'll be the worst team in the NL. One does think they will finish last in the division, but most of you think they will, make the playoffs by winning the division. More than half of you think they'll make it to the World Series, and everyone who thinks they're going to make it to the World Series thinks they'll win the World Series. Most of you think there's a Cy Young Award winner here, and most of you think there's an MVP winner here. All right. Let's see what the AI thinks. So first things first, let's go ahead and save this, and then we'll save it as a quick start as well. Peak Forms is 26. This is SmileyFaceJane, 1972 SF. All right. We're going to sim ahead to opening day. And at opening day, the predictions become available. Generating MLB season predictions here. All right, let's go to MLB. Reports and info, and preseason predictions. All right, here's the AL. Looks normal. In the NL, 108 wins for the Giants. This is a 69-win team, which SmileyFaceJane has transformed into a 108-win team with these peak performers. And this time, not 0 stolen bases, 2 stolen bases projected. 228 home runs, 2 stolen bases are projected. Let's see. 3.28 ERA would be best in the National League. So let's screenshot. Let me screenshot this first, the record. Because I don't think it'll fit all the players, right? Oh, it almost does. Almost does. Well, I can get the NL West and all the players. Okay. Sam McDowell, projected to be the number 2 starting pitcher in the league. Marichal projected to be number 4. As far as the batters, Hart projected to be number 3. Mays projected to be only number 4. And then McCovey projected to be 7. I'm calling shenanigans on this Mays projection. This is a 1954 peak Willie Mays. He's my MVP candidate. They have him as the 4th best batter in the league. Wow. Now, he is getting penalized a little bit for the lack of stolen bases. The AI loves stolen bases in these MVP voting, preseason predictions. Like, Cedeno's up there partly because of his 59 stolen bases. Now, granted, he is projected to be a 323 hitter with 30 home runs, but the AI loves these stolen bases. All right, we'll see what happens. It's just an AI prediction. This is why we sim out the games. All right, let's go to opening day. SmileyFaceJane's opening day is going to be tomorrow. All right, it's against the Padres at home. It's Mike Caldwell against Sam McDowell. So let's watch this game. All right, all the way to the bottom of the 3rd. It's a scoreless game, 1 hit each, as the Giants come to bat. Willie Mays, projected to be the 3rd best hitter in the league, really, against left-hander Mike Caldwell. 0-2 count, and he goes yard. No, it's off the wall. If he were the best hitter in the league, he would have hit it over the fence. But he's only the 3rd best hitter in the league. All right, Mays on 3rd for Willie McCovey. Full count for McCovey. Pops him up behind the second base. Oh, it drops in. What a weird single. What the heck? I gotta see that again. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, it drops in. That's weird. What a weird animation. I gotta see that again. What is this guy doing? What is the shortstop doing? I got it. I'm under it. Nope. All right. Willie Mays scores. Run around first for Jimmy Ray Hart. 2 outs. First pitch to Hart. Rip down the line into the left field corner. Actually, a decent bounce for the defense as it goes right to the left fielder, but then he just sits there holding the ball for a while. The throw to third is cut off, and then he is out. But another run scores in the meantime, so it is 2-0. Bottom of 6, bases loaded for Jimmy Ray Hart. 2 outs and a full count. And if you get past Hart, you got Mays and McCovey coming up. Grounded past the shortstop. Runners rounding 3rd, headed to home. The throw is cut off, and that's a 2 RBI hit. We're now headed to the bottom of the 8th. Jimmy Ray Hart up again with Rader and Fuentes on 2nd and 3rd. 2 outs and 0-1 count. Hart lines one to center field. He is on fire. The throw home is not in time. Top of the 9th. 0-2 count to Morales. Fly ball to right field. It is over the right fielder's head, off the wall. The throw in. Cut off. The throw to 3rd. Not in time. So a 1-out triple. It's now 1st and 3rd for Darryl Thomas. 2 outs. Ground ball to 2nd. Fielded cleanly over to 1st, and that ends the game. A 4-hitter for McDowell. Let's see. Let's see. First, let's see what Hart did. He did some damage. Hart went 4 for 5 with 5 RBI without a home run. McDowell, 9 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, no runs, 8 strikeouts. Yeah, it's the 72 Giants, people. 72 Giants. SmileyFaceJane playing peak performances. You were more confused by this old Giants logo than this crazy Padres logo. All right, that's a good start to the season. Let's go sim the month of April. Jimmy Ray Hart making SmileyFaceJane look really smart with his selection as one of the peak performance players. Wow, Ken Henderson, original 72 Giant, is Player of the Week. Let's take a look at that. In that week, he went 13 for 28, 3 home runs, 13 RBI with a 464 batting average. Nice. All right, let's go back to the standings. 16 and 7 for the month. Jimmy Ray Hart tied for the league lead with 7 home runs. And he's hitting 323. Who were the players of the month? Let's see. Willie Stargell hit 402 with 7 home runs. That's pretty good. And then pitcher of the month was Scipio Spinks. Who did he have a real life career? He went 5-5 in real life. He's crushing it in the sim. Sporer, can we have a Scipio Spinks card, please? I would definitely draft Scipio Spinks just for the name. Oh, he might have had a card last year? Oh, my mistake then. I missed that. Speckle, thank you for the scritches for Crouton. He is predictably right here. Now that he knows I'm streaming, he's right here. All right, scritches haven't delivered. He liked those. He went into belly rub mode for a second there. All right. Standings view. We are 16 and 7. 1 win ahead of the Pirates and the Orioles. But the Pirates have us on win percentage right now. 3 games ahead of the Reds and the Astros. The Reds were the real-life NL West champions in 1972. Sim another month. Maintaining that lead over the now the Dodgers. Now the Reds. Juan Marichal, pitcher of the month, and third best batter in the league, Willie Mays, batter of the month. 10-game winning streak for the team. Willie McCovey with a 5-game home run streak. Let's look at these pitcher and batter month stats here. Mays hit .412 with 12 home runs, 24 RBI, and 27 runs scored. And Marichal, 6-0, 40 strikeouts and 6 walks in 61 innings, a 2.36 ERA, 202 opposition batting average. SmileyFaceJane, you did it again. Marichal going 10-0 so far with a 2.14 ERA. Awesome. All right, we're almost at 40 wins. 39 wins is by far the most in the majors. 5 wins ahead of the Pirates, 8 wins ahead of the Angels, and 13 wins ahead of the Orioles, who are leading the AL East. Mays hitting .385. McCovey tied for second in home runs. Mays and McCovey first and second in OPS and batter WAR. Marichal McDowell second and third in ERA. First and second in wins. McDowell second in strikeouts, just 1 behind Carlton. All right, let's send the month of June. No, SmileyFaceJane, I trust your memory on that better than mine. So Spinks could very likely have had a card. Holy cow. The third best hitter in the league, Willie Mays, had a 49-game on-base streak. I can only assume Cedeno must have had like a 60-game on-base streak, being the top batter in the league. I'm being such a jerk to the AI, but that's what you get for predicting Willie Mays will be the third best hitter in the league. Oh, the 65 Marshall is the one who hit Roseboro over the head with the bat. I didn't realize that. Wow. All right, so now once we get a pitcher of the month or bat of the month, we won't get another notification because it's no longer an achievement. So we have to check each month. Okay, Bob Watson was bat of the month for the Astros. And Rick Wise was pitcher of the month for the Cardinals. Oh, look, it's Slayback who has a PT26 card. He's a rookie of the month. All right, let's sim to the All-Star break. Look at this. The third best hitter in the league, Willie Mays, is the leading vote getter for the All-Star game. I don't know what happened to Cedeno's votes, because he was the best hitter in the league. All right, 72-27. 12 and a half games ahead of the Reds, who won the division in real life. 7 more wins than the Pirates. And no one in the NL has even 60 wins, so the Giants crushing it right now. Jimmy Ray Hart leading the league in home runs with 27. Marshall and McDowell first and second in wins. McDowell now leading in strikeouts has surpassed Carlton. Marshall second in pitcher WAR. All right, we have one more game to play before we get to the All-Star break. 7-game RBI streak by Hart just ended. And it was a loss, 2 in a row, actually, for the Giants. Okay, let's see how the All-Star voting went. Oh, did we look at... Yeah, we did look at June pitchers. Okay. So, All-Star voting. Willie McCovey leading at first base, almost 2 million votes. Jimmy Ray Hart second in votes at third base with 1.5 million votes. Original 72 Giant, Chris Spire, leading in votes at 1.1 million at shortstop. Nice. Third best hitter in the league, Willie Mays, leading all vote getters with 2.3 million votes. And the pitching staff, AI not really great at voting for imported pitchers. Let's see how our pitchers are doing. Marshall is 17-1 with a 2.06 ERA, and he didn't get any All-Star. He wasn't in the top 5 in All-Star voting. The AI not especially good at voting for creative players. Sam McDowell 15-4 with a 2.27 ERA and a 9.1 strikeouts per 9. Our closer Don McMahon is 8-3 with 11 saves and a 2.67 ERA. He might get some relief pitcher of the year consideration. He might also have a chance at an All-Star berth. Those are pretty decent stats for a relief pitcher. Okay. Let's go take a look at who was actually selected. Flash says the A's suck. Let's take a quick look at that. The A's 48-51. What did they do in real life that year? Let me see. I had that up earlier. In 1972, the A's went 93-62. They actually won the AL West. They actually won the World Series. And right now they are 48-51. They are 10 games out of a playoff position right now. So history is going to get rewritten no matter what. All right, so let's go see who was actually selected to the All-Star team. This is one of the pack giveaway questions, so this will be important. Yeah, there are two A's at the top of the pitching rotation for the All-Star team. Vida Blue and Catfish Hunter both selected. But let's see what's going on in the NL here. Marshall and McDowell both selected. McCovey voted in. Jimmy Ray Hart selected. Chris Spire voted in. Mays voted in. So 6 All-Stars. Okay. Did that include all 5 peak performance players? Let's see. McDowell, Marshall, McCovey, Hart, Mays. Yeah, so SmileyFaceJane 5 for 5 in getting into the All-Star game with her selected players. All right, home run challenge. We've got Jimmy Ray Hart, and that's it. Wow, McCovey and Mays didn't get into the home run challenge. Jimmy Ray Hart advances. He'll face Dick Allen. It's Reggie Jackson, Billy Williams on the other side. I think that Billy Williams card we got is so cool. Reggie Jackson and Dick Allen advance. Unfortunately, Jimmy Ray Hart gets knocked out 12-8 by Dick Allen. Dick Allen was a beast, though, in SmileyFaceJane's other peak performances run earlier this week. And Dick Allen wins it 13-12. Wow, that's a heck of a final. 13-12 against Reggie Jackson. All right, let's watch the All-Star game itself. We'll sim ahead to that. All-Star MVP, Willie McCovey. SmileyFaceJane does it again. Jimmy Wynn, who's had a silver card that I've been playing for most of the cycle, has the performance of the day. All right, McCovey went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Hart didn't have a plate appearance, or didn't have an at-bat, went 0 for 0. I don't even know if he got a plate appearance. Let's see. Mays went 1 for 1 with 2 RBI. Very efficient. Chris Spire went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. All right, let's see. How about the pitching? McDowell started the game, gave up 1 unearned run on 2 hits and a walk, so he got racked. Marshall also got crushed. He gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits in 1 inning pitch. So not a good pitching performance by our team here, but pretty good on the batting side. Willie McCovey, player of the game, again with his 2 for 3, 2 run scored performance. All right, let's finish out the month of July. All right, 77-29. No one else has even 70 wins. Jimmy Ray Hart now leading the NL in home runs with 29. How is Mays doing? He's leading in OPS. He's got 26 home runs, 345 average. So he's just off the leaderboards on both of those. All right, let's sim the month of August. Started the month with a few losses in a row, it looked like. All right, 93-41. 83 is the highest win total other than the Giants. The Pirates, 83-48. Jimmy Hart leading the league in average and home runs. Now has 41 home runs, leading the majors in home runs. He's now passed Harmon Killebrew to lead the majors in home runs. Oh, shoot. You know what I realized? I forgot to do that other perfect draft. Hold on a second. Let me save this. I was going to do it when people are filling out their forms, and I completely forgot. Hold on a second. Oops. I might be Jim unknowning this one. Uh, let's see. No, it's in the other account. Hold on. Let me switch accounts real quick. Yeah, we're too late to draft it. Okay, never mind. We're too late to draft it. Okay. Oops. Sorry, whoever faces the team I let get by with my Gym Unknowns. All right, so yeah, 93 and 41 with a month left to go. McDowell pretty close to Triple Crown position. He's 2 wins behind Marichal, though. We got to go White Sox from Flash. Let's see how the White Sox are doing. They are 72 and 60 in a pennant race with the Royals. They're 2 games behind the Royals. The NL is a couple of blowouts. The Pirates are 11.5 games ahead of the Mets, and the Giants are 16 games ahead of the Reds. We can go a week at a time. Let's see how Flash's White Sox do here. Ooh, White Sox now in a tie with the Royals at 75 and 60. How many RBI does Jimmy Ray Hart have? Is he close? He has 97. Yeah, he's just off the leaderboard, but he's a lot behind Tony Perez. The White Sox have fallen behind the Royals now. They're 2.5 behind the Royals. They've lost 3 in a row. Neither team really wants it. The Royals are 6 and 4 in the last 10. The White Sox are 5 and 5 in the last 10. The Angels actually coming on strong, 8 and 2 in the last 10, have won 3 in a row. The Giants kind of resting on their laurels. They got to the top, and now they're just playing 500 ball down the stretch. Pirates actually doing the same. Fortunately for the Pirates, the Mets suck, and they're 3 and 7 in the last 10. Some things never change. Some things never change. Mets gonna Met every time. All right, the White Sox have now fallen to 3rd place, 4.5 games behind the Royals. SmileyFaceJane's team has clinched the playoff spot, and right now is the only team with 100 wins, 102 and 47. Hart is now 12 batting average points ahead of Al Oliver. 4 homers ahead of Nate is it Colbert or Colbert? And he has 106 RBI, so he's just off the leaderboard here. But he's 32 behind Tony Perez. How's the pitching Triple Crown looking? McDowell still trailing Marichal by 2 wins. Oh, and now he's trailing him in ERA. He does have the strikeout lead. Baylor Moore, who had a fun iron card in PT26, is 2nd in league in strikeouts, 14 and 10. What did Baylor Moore's real life stats look like? Yeah, he's definitely outperforming his real life stats for sure. All right, let's do another week. Yeah, the White Sox 3 and 7 in the last 10. White Sox and Angels now 7.5 and 8.5 games behind the Royals, who are running away with the division. The World Series champion Oakland A's are nowhere to be found. They're 79 and 75, 10.5 games out. All right, let's just sim to the end of the regular season. Did we check for August Player of the Month? I don't think we did. All right, September 1st. Jimmy Ray Hart was top hitter in the NL. He hit 474 with 12 home runs, 28 RBI, and 27 runs scored. 474 in the month of August. Insane. Insane. Wow. And it was Jim Brewer for the Dodgers winning pitcher of the month. Yeah, crazy performance by Jimmy Ray Hart. All right, let's go to end of the regular season. 110-51 with 1 game left to go. Oh no, Hart has dropped 3 batting average points behind Al Oliver. I didn't think that lead was surpassable, but man, Hart kind of collapsed and Oliver stepped up and it happened. So Marichal ended up with the ERA title and the win title. McDowell with the strikeout title. Hart's going to have to settle for the home run championship. McDowell almost 300 strikeouts, ahead of Baylor Moore and Steve Carlton. McCovey and Hart, first and second in OPS. Well, what happened to the third best hitter in the majors, Willie Mays? He'll have to settle for leading the major with 12.1 WAR. Moore is actually underperforming his 19th season, at least in ERA. Yeah, but I think in most other metrics, it seemed like he was way overperforming. He was having a great season. Let's take a look. He's 15-11. I think he was 9-9 in the regular season. His 1.23 WHIP and 9.6 strikeouts per 9. Yeah. Oh no, his WHIP is the same, 1.23. Oh, same strikeouts per 9. Okay. Yeah, he just had a really good season. Just maybe didn't get a lot of run support. He was 9-9. And he fished a full season, right? He had 22 games that year. The AI let him play a full season with 36 games. So all these stats really filled out. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, good call, SmileyFaceJane. He was as good, if not better, in real life. Well, the team was projected to have 2 stolen bases from RT, so I don't think Mays had a lot of stolen bases. Let's take a look. He had no steals and 1 caught stealing. SmileyFaceJane really put the kibosh on the stealing for her team. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so let's save this. We don't lose this. Man, Jimmy Ray Hart, what a season. What a season. 10.7 WAR, trailing only Willie Mays. The top 3 batter wars in the NL would have led the AL. All right, let's go to the playoff tree. Oh, no. There's no wild card, so we're going to have to go right to scores view. Okay, AL's going to start things off. Orioles hosting the Royals. It takes 10 innings. The Orioles walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. Boog Powell went 3 for 4 with a home run. All right, let's go to Game 2 of the ALCS and Game 1 of the NLCS. Doc Ellis is going to be around against Jim Willoughby. So this is one thing I don't like is when the AI has clinched the pennant, it should be resetting the rotation, right, for the postseason. Oh yeah, SmileyFaceJane, thank you. 4-man rotation. 4-man rotation. So it's sending Stone to the bullpen. Do you want Stone just in middle relief? So for creator roster, I would just ask the AI what to do, but since this is a historical sim, I let the contestant middle relief, no secondary. Okay, now it looks like McDowell's rested. Marshall's 86% rested. Do you want to start McDowell in game 1? He is rested. It should start him because it says always start highest rested, but for some reason it's got Willoughby scheduled to start. Okay, so we're going to start McDowell. And let me just reconfirm. He is 100% rested, so yeah, I don't know why the AI wasn't starting him. And for game 2, Marshall should be rested because he's at 86% now. So yeah, maybe the AI was going to do that anyway, but I don't want to leave it to chance here. So now McDowell is now the scheduled starter against Doc Ellis. All right, the Orioles win 5-1. They are now ahead 2-0 in the ALCS. All right, SmileyFaceJane's team beats the Pirates 3-1. Sam McDowell goes 7 1/3, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Doc Ellis in the losing effort, pretty good game. 8 innings, 3 earned, 4 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. And Pat Dobson, who's got a kind of stale perfect card at this point in perfect team, did go 9 innings, 10 hits, 3 walks, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts. All right, the ALCS is on a travel day, so it's just the NL today. Okay, now why isn't AI? What are you doing? Marshall is 100% rested. Why are you not starting Marshall? All right. There's a 5-2 win. Marshall goes the distance, 9 innings, 8 hits, 2 walks, 2 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts. Bob Moose, you could argue, outdueled him. 8 innings, 1 earned, 6 hits and 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. But Moose takes the loss. Oh, man. He gave up 4 runs, only 1 earned. That's brutal. Stuff like this is why I couldn't just agree with what you said about the AI the other day. Yeah, this is pretty bad. The AI is not looking good. Now, what I don't know is if I had just hit the sim button, if they would have put the right pitcher in, right, for the sim. But I didn't want to trust it to do that, for sure. Like, this postseason is way too important to see what happens. But, yeah, that's not a good look for the AI right now. All right, I got to see what happened in that first inning. Because Bob Moose only gave up 1 earned run. Oh, Jimmy Ray Hart gets on a lead-off error. Then it's a single. Then it's a strikeout. Then it's a walk. Then it's a strikeout. Inning should be over right here. It should have been an out on the first play and then 2 strikeouts with a single and a walk kind of mixed in there. And then there's a double. And then there's a single. Yeah, all that happened after what should have been the 3rd out. It might be getting better in some ways, but overall it seems like it's getting worse because, like, why was it trying to put Eckersley in middle relief, less usage the other day? Yeah. Some things I don't understand how it decides to do things. Like, occasionally I can think of, what the AI might be thinking. Like, it's not accounting for the era or whatever. But a lot of the decisions, like not starting Marischal in this game, like it makes no sense. He's rested. It's set and always start highest rested, and for some reason it's pulling the number 3 starter. Yeah, that was bad. Okay, that was a rough inning for Bob Moose. I feel bad for him because he gave up 1 earned run, kind of outdueled Marischal, but he gave up 4 runs, 3 unearned. So that's rough. 2 for 4 and 3 RBI for Chris Spire, by the way. Not a huge bat, but played really well this game. All right. And I was going to head to the travel day with SmileyFaceJane's team up 2-0. The Royals win 2-1, walking off in the bottom of the 10th. So they cut the lead to 2-1. All right, Baltimore trying to close out the Royals. They can't do it. The Royals shut out the Orioles 6-0 on 5 hits. Dick Drago. Perfect team legend Dick Drago. 9 innings, 5 hits. No earned, no walks, 8 strikeouts. What a game. All right. San Francisco looking to sweep the Pirates. Willoughby finally on his turn in the rotation. Spire had 10.6 WAR in SmileyFaceJane sim. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, the Pirates win 6-5. They cut the series lead to 2-1. All right, let's see. Go the next day. AL's on a travel day. I mean, winning here would be important because you would get at least a couple of rest days. Because the AL's about to come back for their game 5, right? Oh, it is a loss. So the Giants are going to have to play game 5 as well. Man, this team is it's like Spawn Insane and Pray for Rain. I guess there's not much behind the top 2 starters here. Alright, let's advance to the next day. This is the Royals and Orioles in the deciding game 5. They used to play a 5-game championship series before, a 7-game World Series. Oh, did I miss a Nerd of Anarchy Champa redemption for Scritches for True Time? Here you go, buddy. These are some Nerd of Anarchy Scritches for you, buddy boy. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. All right, game 5. The Royals win 3-0. So they win the first 2, lose the next 2, and they come back and win the final game. So they do advance to the World Series. Oh, Cookie Rojas. Cookie Rojas. Where's my Cookie Push screenshot? Cookie Rojas was number 3 performance of the day. Where's that Cookie Puss? There it is. Let's see. In honor of Cookie Rojas being the number 3 player of the game, we're going to do... Let's get Cookie Puss in here. Especially if you grew up in the Northeast, you may remember this frozen treat and nightmare fuel Cookie Puss from Carvel. Put that up there in honor of Cookie Rojas. With the creepy little arms and the tiny creepy little red gloves, red mittens. There's Cookie Puss. Enjoy. Sweet dreams, everybody. Cookie Puss. For Cookie Rojas, number 3 performance of the day for the Kansas City Royals. as they head to the World Series. One of the other starting pitchers was really good in your sim, but it was because he had really fluky home run luck. Somehow he only gave up .4 homers per 9 with a 45 HRA. That's amazing. All right, Game 5. Let's watch this. We should watch this. It is Sam McDowell back on the mound. Oh, we need to. We learned this from SmileyFaceJane a long time ago. We need to turn off achievements so we don't get a spoiler. Otherwise, if we had won, we would get the pop-up that says, you know, congratulations for the achievement. All right, bottom of the third. It is scoreless. Pittsburgh's held hitless so far by McDowell. And the Giants have the bases loaded with no outs for Jimmy Ray Hart. And he goes down swinging. The NL home run leader goes down swinging with the bases loaded. And he's not just a big home run hitter. He was leading the league in average for most of the season, too. All right, Willie McCovey comes out with 1 out and a full count. The infield is in. Ground ball to short is past the shortstop into the outfield for a base hit. It scores 1, and the bases are still loaded for Willie Mays, the third best batter in the league. Ground ball up the middle, base hit, back to the box. It's going to score 2. 3-0, second and third for Ken Henderson. 1-2 count. Ground ball past the first baseman, and that should clear the bases. Runner is safe. It is 10-0 as we head to the top of the 9th. 2 outs and a 1-0 count. Sam McDowell still in the game, trying to go the distance, facing Willie Stargell. Working on a one-hitter, unassisted, a one-hit shutout to clinch a World Series berth. Legendary Sam McDowell. Wow. What a performance. 9 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. Very cool. Yeah, I guess Sam McDowell translates pretty well to 1972. All right. We get a travel day here. All right. Marshall's ready to go, but unfortunately, the rest of the the good pitchers, meaning Sam McDowell, just pitched. So he has 1 day of rest so far. But at least we have Marshall for game 1. Facing Bruce Dalkenton, who has a pretty interesting perfect team card this cycle. I like it. It's got low stuff and low control, but really good home run suppression and PBABIP. I've liked it. I've been using it most of this cycle in perfect drafts and stuff. All right. Oh, that's a bummer when your number 2 starter loses a game to start the series. Man, the Royals just crushing it. Seven runs on 9 hits. They scored 2 in the top of the 9th as insurance. They scored 4 in the first, which really just got them off to a good start, and they just hung on for the win. All right, let's go to game 2. Let's see if the Giants can shake that off. Will be on the mound? This is correct because McDowell had to start the last game of the NLCS, and then Marshall just started game 1 of the World Series. It is a 2-1 loss. Willoughby pitched so well, but those 2 runs in the first, the Royals made them hold up. Paul Splittorff, 7 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned, 4 strikeouts. The Giants' bats have fallen silent all of a sudden. Down 0-2. The travel day couldn't have come at a better time as the Giants tried to regroup. All right, McDowell is back on the mound. 2-0 with a .55 postseason ERA. It is a win, 4-2. McDowell goes 9 innings, 2 earned, 7 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Chris Spire, who had a 10-plus WAR in SmileyFaceJane sim, test sim, went 3 for 4 with 2 RBI. All right. The Giants looking to tie up the series at 2 apiece here. Sending Jim Barr to the mound. Is that right? Marshall's rested. AI, what are you doing? We're going to start Marshall. It says always start highest rested. He is the highest, and he's rested. Start Marshall. Jeez, AI. All right, Marshall versus Drago. Oh, wait. I forgot to hit quick play. It was a win, 5-2. Marshall went 9 innings, 2 earned, 5 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Now this has me worrying that I have to check this every time we do a postseason and create a roster. But I also don't think it's fair to start checking halfway through the cycle or midway through or, during the cycle. Because everyone else I've just been running. So I don't feel like I can just pick up and start doing that now. But this is not inspiring a lot of confidence in me that the AI knows what it's doing. But it is tied up at 2 apiece. It's a brand new series. Essentially a 3-game series. Unfortunately, we just burned our top 2 starters. Marshall's 85% rested. Oh, McDowell's rested. What are we doing? Get McDowell in there. What is the AI doing? McDowell, fully rested, 100%. And he loses. Flash says visiting team has won every game in the World Series so far, and it continues as the Royals win again, 4-3. McDowell, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Oh, so did the bullpen lose this game? Oh, no, the Giants made 2 errors. He gave 3 runs, 1 earned. Oh, I'd be so mad at my Kingman made 2 errors. He's a 70 rated defender, and he made 2 errors. Well, his error rating is terrible, to be fair. He's 40 rated error rating, so. Okay, that kind of tracks. All right. Oh, wait a second. Did I do it again? Did I blow past another game? No, that was game 7. I mean, that was game 6. So now it's tied 3 apiece. It says Willoughby, but let's see. Marshall is rested. God, AI. You gotta get this right. Come on. All right, let me see if I have a message from my wife on when they're coming home, because I would like to watch this game if we can. I've got to make dinner, but okay. So yeah, we're good. I think we can watch this game. So let's game 7. All right, Marshall is on the mound. Amos Otis on second. I don't know if this is the expensive Amos Otis or the cheap Amos Otis, but he's on second base. Let's hope the trend doesn't continue with the visiting team winning, because we want SmileyFaceJane to win this. Lou Piniella, Sweet Lou at bat. Full count with 1 out. Line drive into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Amos Otis. Did Willie Mays just like fake throw before throwing? What was that? What happened there? Watch Willie Mays when he picks up the ball. Does he fake throw? Yeah, he fake throws and then he throws. All right. Bottom of the third, trailing by 1. Juan Marichal at the plate. Can he help himself out at the plate? He sure can. He bloops on the center field. It gets past the center fielder. And he gets to turn it into a double. Nice. Marshall's now on third for Willie McCovey with 1 out. First pitch. Swinging. Deep right center field. Doesn't have the distance. It's gone. 2-run shot. Paul Shaw up at bat. 2 outs in a full count facing Marichal. Paul Shaw versus Marichal. And it's a home run. Ties the game up at 2 apiece. Paul Shaw versus Marichal. What the heck? All right, Amos Otis is the runner on third. 1 out and a 1-1 count. Infield is in. Bloops on the center field. Willie Mays is in to get it. The throw home is not in time. And so the Royals take the lead on the sac fly. Bottom of the 5th. Leading off is catcher Dave Rader with a full count. He does have the lefty-righty matchup going for him, and he draws the walk. That brings up Marichal. 0-2 count. Check swing, goes down swinging. All right, bottom of the 7th. 2 outs in a 2-0 count. Again for Dave Rader. Slow roller to third. The throw to first is in time. I don't know why that was a highlight, but top of the 8th. Amos Otis up at bat. 3-2 count. Fly ball to center field. Mays isn't even going to go after it, and that's gone. It's now a 2-run deficit as Gary Maddox pinch hits. He draws the walk. Nicely done by the pinch hitter. That brings up Jim Ray Hart. Now, he led the National League in home runs. With 1 swing, he could tie this game up. It is a full count. Still no outs. And with 1 swing, he goes back to the bench. It's better than a double play, though. It keeps the runner on base. It's still only 1 out, and then brings up Willie McCovey. 1-0 count. Line drive to center field, but right at the center fielder. And that ends the 8th. All right, bottom of the 9th, down by 2. Ken Henderson leading things off. Ground ball to third. Over to first for the out. 1 out and 0-2 count for Ed Goodson. Unfortunately, we are far away from getting back to the Hart McCovey Mays part of the lineup. 0-2 count to Goodson. Ooh, line drive to center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. That brings up Chris Spire. Full count. Ground ball to first. Unassisted. No chance of the double play, though, so runner advances to second. Tito Fuentes. We're relying on Tito Fuentes, Doug Rader, and a pincher with pitcher to get us back to Jim Ray Hart. Oh, a little line drive into left field for the base hit. The inning continues, first and third. The tying run is at first. The winning run is at the plate in the form of Doug Rader. It's an 0-1 count. Oh, it's a slow roller in front of the plate. Doug Rader, hustle. Oh. The Royals win it all. All right, now I got to see. The Royals in real life, they went 76 and 78. Sub 500, 16.5 games behind the A's. And in our sim, they won the World Series. All right, let's save this. Let's go to the postseason awards. We need these for the pack giveaway, and I'm gonna have to hustle through these because I have to make dinner. All right, let's see. Great Glove Awards. Looking for Giants. Wayne Garrett for the Mets wins one at second. Chris Spire at short, and that's it. 1 Gold Glove. Nothing for you, Willie Mays. Reliever of the year? Let's see. McMahon was our closer. 9-9, 16 saves, 3.69 ERA. Negative WAR. McGraw wins it unanimously. Yep, no votes for our pitcher. All right, next up is Platinum Stick Award. We should have a shot at a few of these. McCovey at first, Jimmy Ray Hart at third, Chris Spire at short. That's an original 72 Chris Spire. Willie Mays in center. So that's 4. Nicely done. Rookie of the Year. I don't know if we have anyone eligible. We'll have to see. Oh, Willoughby for the Giants with 14 first place votes. He takes it. Willoughby went 19-8 with 122 strikeouts, so 3.4 ERA. In real life, in 72, he went 6-4. So, if you extrapolate this over a full season with that .98 whip, 156 ERA plus, it makes sense that he simmed so well. Because we turned injuries off and we had him for the whole season. All right, next up, Cy Young Award. Who do we like here? Marshall 24-4 with a 2.35. McDowell 22-7 with a 2.45. McDowell had almost 300 strikeouts though. Partly because of that, he also has a higher WAR. All right. Marshall takes it over McDowell. They both split the first place votes. 199 opposition batting average. Nice. All right. MVP. All right. You got to think it's either Hart, who led the league in home runs, or Mays. Although, actually, McCovey had a higher OPS than Mays, but Mays had a 12 WAR. So, these three could potentially split the first 3 spots. So, let's see. Sweet Lou wins it in the AL. How did Sweet Lou do? He hit 338 with 8 home runs, but he did play for the world champion Royals. That probably had something to do with it. Jim Ray Hart, who led the league in home runs, gets 17 first place votes. Finishes a little bit ahead of the 3rd best hitter in the National League, Willie Mays. But there is an MVP winner here. All right, so I think we have everything we need for the pack giveaway. So let's get that up on the screen. Not Cookie Puss. This is what I'm looking for right here. There we go. All the answers were the same up until will this team finish last in its division? They did not finish last in division. So we lose the Rage and Russian. Will this team make it to the playoffs by winning their division? Yes, they did. Will they make it to the World Series? Yes, they did. Will they win the Series? They did not, but everyone guessed that they would, so all 4 still advance. Will a player win the Cy Young Award? Yes, they did. They finished first and second. So let's see. We keep all of them. We keep them again. Headed to the MVP question. They did win the MVP, so it's going to come down to the win total. And whoever doesn't win, the 3 who don't win, are going to have 3 bonus points in the second place part of the competition. All right, the win total was 111. Who feels good about their answer? The answer was 111. Nerd of Energy should feel good about his answer because he got that exactly right. What a guess by Nerd of Anarchy. And then the others who get bonus points in round 2 for second place packs are Flying WV, Dono, and Formarty. All right, and we don't score Nervaki's guesses. So even if he nails some questions, those points will go to other people because Nervaki has already won the first place packs. Your other guesses are trash? Well, we'll have to see. You might still have a chance here. All right. They did win their division, so there were 0 games behind. So most of you get points there. All right, All-Stars. We had 6 All-Stars. Maybe everyone was expecting the 5 imported players to get All-Stars, but we had the 6th. Flying W and Flash get points there. Gold Glove winners. We had 1 Gold Glove winner. 1. Georgie Zim gets a solo point. Solo points are big. Platinum Stick Awards. We had 4 of those. 4 of those. Flash gets that exactly right. All right, these are the mouse hover questions. So let's go see what the mouse hover brings. Okay. We've got first, fourth, and first for the offensive questions. And for the defensive questions, we've got 5th, 6th, and 2nd. All right. So, runs scored first. Flying WV, Dono, and Formarty get points there. Batting average, 4th. Formarty gets that exactly right and gets a solo point. That is a big solo point right there. Nicely done. Home runs hit, 1st. Flying WV, Dono, and Formarty get points there. Right, ERA, 5th. 5th. Flash and Formarty get those exactly right. Strikeouts thrown, 6th. Flash is closest with a guess of 8th. All right, defensive efficiency, 2nd. You right there, buddy? You right, Kuto? You right? Yeah? Okay. Flying WV and Dono get points there. All right, so heading to the batting questions, we've got Flying W with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 3 bonus points for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 3 for Dono for 7. Rage and Russian, unfortunately, got shut out there. Georgie Zim got 2 after a hot start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Flash. And 5 plus 3 for Formarty, so 8. So Formarty and Flying W in the lead. Dono hot on their tail, 1 behind, and Flash 2 behind Dono. Okay, we head to the batting questions. Home runs hit by the team leader in home runs. That was 47 by Jim Ray Hart. 47, who led the league. Flash gets a solo point. That could be big. Solo points are big. All right, batting average. At least 300 plate appearances. Jim Ray Hart hit 350. 350. Look at that. Nerd gets 357. Oh, Flash gets the player, unfortunately. 331. 364 is 14 points away, so that is going to be the closest. So that's Dono. Dono with a solo point there. All right. OPS. 1044. 1044. 1022, so 0.22 away. I think that's going to be the closest. Yeah, Farmarti gets one there. And then batter war. Mays, the third best hitter in the league with a 12.1. Find a V with a 10.7 is going to take that one. All right, so after the hitting questions, Find a V moves up to 9. Dono keeps pace with an 8. Flash gains 1 to a 6. And Farmarti picks one up to a 9. Alright, everyone kind of keeping pace with everybody else. Now, the final tiebreak, if 2 people are tied, is whoever got the more recent question right. So, you really want to nail those final questions. Alright, strikeouts thrown, 293 by McDowell. 293. Look at this. Flash with a 295, Farmarti with a 296, Find a V with a 305. Flash is the closest. Alright, ERA, minimum 100 innings pitched. Marshall with a 2.35. 2.29 and 2.29 are tied. Flying WV and Farmarti each get a point there. And they are tied with each other, so that's huge that they were able to tie each other. Okay, whip. 0.83. 0.83. The lowest one's going to take it. And Flying W went lowest with 0.92. So Flying W currently in the lead. But because of the tiebreak, whoever gets the next question right between the two of them will win it. The highest pitcher award was 8.2 by Sam McDowell. 8.2. Look at that. Nerd got that exactly right. Find W is 0.51 away with a mean guess. And Farmarti is 0.9 away. So Find W cements the lead with that final answer. Find W with 12. 8 for Dono. 7 for Flash. And 10 for Farmarti. So, yeah. Big run down the stretch for Flying WV. Flying WV got a little bogged down in the mouse hovers by guessing all ones, and that gave Farmarti a chance to jump into the lead, but Flying WV really nails the pitching questions. Oh, yeah, sorry. No, that's right. Georgie Zim had 2. That's right. Sorry about that. 2. Yeah. But real good guesses, everybody. Hope you had fun. That's a little taste of what we do with a late night stream. A lot of community games like that. All channel point redemptions. Alright, let's see who's streaming right now. Let's see. Ripley's streaming non-OOTP. Midnight Sumo is live right now. Let me do a search on the Park Baseball. It's still about an hour and a half before Ezra goes on. And I guess we must have missed LMP Gaseta. All right, well, you know what we're going to do? It's a live sumo tournament right now, so we're going to raid Midnight Sumo. All right, so Midnight Sumo is a Canadian streamer who streams Japanese sumo tournaments, and right now we're in the midst of the. There are 5 national sumo tournaments, each year, and this is the one in Tokyo. Each sumo tournament is 15 days long. I think today is day 14, so this is one of the last 2 days. So there's a lot of important matches as the wrestlers jockey for position here. And so we're going to raid in. It's a great way to learn more about sumo. Midnight Sumo does a really great job commentating in English so you can understand what's happening. They do have a 0 tolerance policy for any body shaming or making fun of the wrestler, so please be on your best behavior. And have fun. Learn about some sumo. And then come back for Ezra Denny at around 8:30 Pacific, and I'll be on again at 10 p.m. Pacific time.
Why do you keep following me around?